We are live. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Larry James. My company is Speak with Larry, no spaces. And today we have a guy by the name of Eric Smith. Now, Eric is a business coach specialist at Gold to Gold. That's GOAL, the number 2, GOLD. He's also director at MIS Services, LLC, an ad agency offering consultant and done-for-you services. They also help people transition out of their 9-to-5, create transformation, and profit from a business idea within 3 duplicatable steps using nothing but his or her life experiences. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Eric to the show. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction.
So, Eric, tell me just a little bit about how you got started and what it is that you do.
My background is computer information. Okay. So I was a computer programmer years ago. Mm-hmm. Lost a lot of hair from that. So
I do understand. I can relate.
Yeah. So I stepped away from that and started developing websites for a living.
Okay.
I did it as a hobby at first, mm-hmm. and I transitioned after a few people started noticing me online, my work.
Okay.
So from there, I went from developing websites into a full marketing agency. Mm-hmm. And just recently, I just started the Gold to Gold this year.
Okay.
I built it from just a few followers, and now I have about 25 people going through that system.
Great, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yes.
So would you say that this is something that you have a passion for?
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Right.
Yes.
And that lets you know you're on the right track. That's why I feel about what I do. And our business is very similar. My elevator speech is my company teaches you how to set up the foundation of your online business while helping you become more comfortable speaking about it. Because after you gain the knowledge and after you start applying the knowledge, people start to want you to come and share your information with their organizations or their groups, right?
Right.
And a lot of people have a fear of speaking, and that's a revenue source that you'll be eliminating if you don't want to get out there and make that money, because, hey, they coming to you to get you to come and speak, right?
True. Yeah. And that's part of what I do as well, but more so on the digital side. Uh-huh. One of my slogans in the digital marketing company that we have is, what are your company saying when you sleep? So what is the conversation that you're having when you're not present? So the communication is a very important piece to this puzzle in business. So I totally agree with what she's saying. You have to get out there and speak, right. Either in, face-to-face or verbally like we're doing, mm-hmm. or through digital like my company and what we offer.
Exactly. That's actually how you meet some of the best people that, can help you move the needle in your journey. Because I always equate this process to a journey, because mm-hmm. especially if you are not really what we call computer literate, because most mm-hmm. of my clients are what we call the baby boomer generation, right? And mm-hmm. the baby boomer generation, they either have retired, they're getting ready to retire, yeah. they're thinking about retiring within the next 3 to 5 years, and they have mm-hmm. a little money saved up, right? So exactly. That's a prime time to actually begin the process, because you don't, like I know, it's not gonna work in 3 weeks or 3 months. It's good. No. It's a process. It takes a long time, right? How long have you been doing it?
Well, the digital side, I've been doing it for 10 plus years now.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, and it took a lot of failures and a lot of hard work to get where I am now.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what I tell people. What it allows you to do is it allows you to increase your value in the marketplace, right?
Yes.
And see, you want your value in the marketplace to increase, because that's revenue, because people start to, like I share with people, I just passed 10 years in the business, and I'm a published author too, right?
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. And I believe that if you and I, not you, but my client, if we go and ask people to evaluate us versus what they're going to pay us for our services based on our experiences, chances are very good that they're going to pay me a lot more, right? Because I've been doing this for 10 calendar years. I've written 11 books. I've got a podcast show. I've got this type of stuff going on. So I do a lot, and most of them just watch TV. You know what I'm saying?
And
so,
your experience with people is what you're bringing is so valuable.
That's right. That's right. And you get to enjoy it. The thing about my system is you get to base your journey on what you like or what you love or what you are willing to learn, right? Because see, sometimes people can't really identify what it is they want to start this journey in, right? And they'll say things like, I don't know what I want to do, but I know I want to help people, right? And there are so many different ways to help people, right? Especially with the technology that's available today, you can help people and never touch them, right?
That's true. So true. So true. I say
advantage of it.
That's right. I mean, because the resources are in our hands now, where before it took 10 years to build a business.
Wow.
But now, I mean, we go through a process of that 3 steps. You can have a full functional business within a month now.
That's
if
right.
You set it up properly, you know.
And it's basically the consistency that makes the business, you know.
That's true.
And because you can have all the plans in order as they need to be, but if you don't go through the process repetitively, you know, you won't get better. It's like doing these Zoom interviews. My objective I just started doing these in 2020, and my objective was to do 50 this year, right? Because I have a audio podcast that I do once a week, but I'm kind of throwing in doing a video podcast. So I wanted to get a little experience, you know, in front of the camera, although I do a lot of videos. I got like, I just passed 900 videos on YouTube, right?
Wow.
So I've been in the game for a long time with the videos. And I'm familiar with the videos. I'm really comfortable in front of the camera, but I want to set it into a format. You know what I'm saying? When you create a format, it's like, I tell people always like this what you see is a set, you know, and every time you come to experience my videos, my interviews, this is the set you'll see for this 50 video series, right? So I like to change things around. So as soon as I get to 50, I'm going to change this to another format and create something else. Because that's what we're doing. We're just creating, like I like to share it like this. You don't have an audience that you're sharing information with yet. You actually create that audience by sharing information and your content, right?
Yeah, right. And I would like to go back to what you said earlier about the process. That's one of the reasons that in those 3 steps we do it and try to do it in 30 days to build a habit. To do it for 30 more days and 30 more days. So setting that goal, because each step is a goal in this process, and just building that habit, it's like having the intangible goal, which is an idea that you have, your experience, based off your experiences. And then we have the physical goal, which is whatever that is you try to obtain. So whatever that may be, it take a process, like you said, a process of going through that. But just building the habit until the habit becomes you.
Right.
You know, is one of the things that.
Right, because a lot of times people don't really realize how important personal development is. You know, it's major when you're talking about growing a business, you know, because you got to identify where you were versus where you would like to go, right? Because when you get to where you want to be, you won't be this person anymore. You will have changed, right?
That's
true. You will have transformed into, and I like that word you used about transformation. You would have transformed yourself from who you used to be to who you currently are, right? And you probably gonna like who you are better.
That's true. And that's like whenever I meet with a client, we start with where they are. You know, the idea is to know where you are and to know where you want to go. And that process in between. So if you know where you are and know where you want to go, and we can build the steps to get there. All you have to do is follow your own blueprint.
Right.
And each one is a blueprint tailored to that person, that individual.
That's great. That's very creative. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, because I got the idea from when I was a child. I wanted to make the basketball team. I was the shortest guy, but I was like, I'm going to the next grade level, and now the kid's gonna be bigger, faster, stronger. And so my idea was just to get a basketball. Ask for a basketball. Over the summer, I was just gonna dribble all summer long. And I know people got tired of me dribbling that ball, but that's all I did.
Right.
And then I became really good at it. I could switch hands. I can dribble with the left hand, the right hand, behind my back, between my legs, the whole nine. But it wasn't until I met a friend of mine that was in the neighborhood, we became friends.
Okay.
He had a basketball goal.
Okay.
So, I could never be him. He was age younger than I was at the time. But I could not beat this guy the whole summer. He was really good. And I didn't know how much I'd grown just from like dribbling that basketball to shooting the basketball. Until school arrived. I'm in the 7th grade, and the basketball coach saw me playing with the kids my age. And he asked me to come play for the varsity. I mean, the same year, and it was like, to me, I thought back on that moment, and it was as long as I was dribbling, I was okay. But the goal gave me something to shoot for.
Wow.
So when I started to practice free throw and layups and things of that nature, my game elevated. And the only thing that happened was there was a goal in front of me. So that's the concept of the company that I built, is knowing what you have. You may not have but a basketball. That could be an idea. That could be the experience that you have in life. But our goal is to put the goal in front of you so you can have something to shoot for.
Right. So do most of your clients know what they want as a goal?
Some do and some don't. So if they don't, we put them through an exercise to help them figure that out. So it's like 3 pillars. We call it the Quad P program. So that P is positioning, packaging, positioning, promoting, and the end goal is getting a profit from it.
Okay.
And from there, we go from, if you're a person with a passion, driven by purpose, you can find paradise.
Okay, I see it. And you created that yourself. That's your baby.
That's my baby. That's my baby. Okay. Yeah, and just based on my life experience, and I put people through the beta testing, and they getting results. So, for your audience or anyone that's listening, it's better to check the pulse or the temperature of your audience. Let the audience, whatever business you have, tell you if it's good or not.
Right.
Because that's the only judgment you have to rank up to. Because a lot of times we undervalue ourselves. We don't know what we have. We don't deliver because we don't believe we can.
Right.
No one will listen to me. Oh, I don't have experience. I don't have that degree. I don't have that this or that. But the truth of the matter is, you have something that someone wants. And our job is to show you how to package that, how to position yourself, and how to promote it to make your dream come true.
Absolutely. And then another thing that kind of vicariously happens through, I'll say osmosis, is you become a lot better than you thought you were. You understand where you're trying to go. But like when the example you were given with the basketball, when they asked you to come play for the varsity, you probably didn't think you were worthy of that at that point. You know what I'm saying?
I did.
Yeah. So you had to grow into that. But that competition was a different level. So it made you play harder, right?
Yeah.
Made you focus more on getting to that goal. Because
Sure.
one of the things I believe that children, all children should participate in is some type of team sport. Because when you play a team sport, you understand that it's not just about you, you know. But a lot of times people never really get to play what you call organized team sport as they're growing up. And then when they get an opportunity to get into the real world, it's kind of the same way when you're dealing with people on a business level. You know, you kind of have to be able to see who you can count on, who you can't count on, you know, who you can pass the ball to, and who you keep the ball from, you know. Because some people don't do anything but shoot. They don't even make it, but they shoot, you know, so that kind of throws the whole process out. But the major thing I like about what we do is we actually get to see the transformation in people, you know, because your clients, I'm sure when you get a client, they're kind of like, and I'm a firm believer that everybody begins an amateur. You know what I mean? I don't believe people start out expert. But see, the goal for my clients is to become an expert in what they're doing. And people get paid nice amounts of money for expert advice. So if you can become an expert, and it's niche driven, you know what I'm saying? And you want it to be niche driven because you want it to be kind of something that you become the go-to person in that arena or that area. And if you are, regardless of whether it's, you know, worldwide or whether it's just a little demographic in Utah or somewhere, right? You can get wealthy, you know, because you don't need all the people. You just need people, especially with like membership programs. You just set people up where they can constantly access your information, and you just keep creating information. And then that's just one stream, right? And once you, like when I began my journey, the first thing I did was write a book. I didn't know anything about writing. I didn't know how to get it published or anything. And it cost me more money. The first book cost me like $1,300 to get published, right? The second book cost me $450. I was like, what? You know, and then the third book I published myself. I was like, oh my God. You know, but it's the process that, you know, makes you better. Because now I can not only write, but I can teach you how to write as far as creating your own. I've written 7 ebooks. Now, ebooks are really easy to write. And I didn't know that, like in the beginning when books were first written, they were only like 20 or 30 pages. They weren't 300 or 400 pages, you know. And that's what an ebook is, you know. You can create an ebook for 10 pages. As long as you got the nuggets that a person is willing to, that can move the needle in what they're doing, right? Because that's what they want. That's why they come to see you, is to help them go to another level. And that's what we get paid to do, is help them transition from where they are, an amateur to an expert. Now that process for me, I like a 90-day window, but I also start with 30, because I believe that if you can't sustain a 30-day process, you can't sustain a 3 to 5 year process. You know, so you kind of eliminate yourself or you qualify yourself, you know, based on your effort. But it's all your effort. You know, I just guide you. But if you have any questions or if you want to bounce things off, you know, I'm the person you speak with. But I also give you little, I guess we'll call tests along the way to let you see how far you've grown, right? Because we all, 3 things I believe people should work on every day, and I do, is your mind, your body, and your spirit. You should gain some information about each one of those every day of your life, because you never know who you need to talk to, you know, and then all those areas right there will allow you to be kind of versed with anybody you're talking to, because you can talk to almost anybody about the mind, the body, and the spirit, right?
That's true.
I don't want to spend too much time with the spirit because people have different opinions about that, right? The religious stuff and all that. But, you know, it's good to keep yourself on a positive level, you know, because a lot of people in this life we go through will kind of beat you down if you're not really, you know, driven to a goal. You know, a lot of people are not goal setters. When you meet someone that's not a goal setter, how do you kind of let them know that this is goal based, what you teach you?
Oh, so good question. I start with the name, goal to goal, and I define what that is. for me and what I expect of them. But I try not to put expectations. I just set the guidelines. And one of the things that you said is important. It's ironic that you say that about the three things that people need to have. And part of the program is built on the 3 B's. So the 4 P's and the 3 B's within inside of that.
Okay.
And the 3 B's is the business, your body, and your brain.
Oh.
You know, what are you feeding those things every day?
Gotcha.
Your brain is what we see and what we listen to, like podcasts, positive podcasts like yours.
Right.
I feel my information on my brain with that, on a daily basis. What I eat is important because the food nourishes the body so I can have the stamina to do what I need to do.
Right.
Have a clear conscience, a clear mind when I meet with my client. I can be on point. And then my business, what am I feeding my business? A lot of times we don't look at it that way, but any results are results. So a result of nothing is data.
Yeah.
A result of something is data.
Right.
So if you can read that, you can see what you have to do to feed that business. Because ultimately, the program is about your life is truly your business. It really is. And we have to look at it that way in order for it to grow. Because what we have, our body, we grow, right? In spirit or in consciousness, we grow. And the same thing as business, you want to grow.
True.
Because there's no in between. We either growing or we decrease.
That's right.
But both is good data to know. If I'm decreasing, what are the numbers? How do we check that? How we do, like you put it, well put, it's like we should take record of our life in those 3 areas. And so a part of the program is that too, is to keep them on goal through data, to how to assess yourself, how to use that data and turn it in a way that can help you. If the data is hurting you, how do you turn that around? So it's very strategic with numbers because numbers, even though they can be manipulated, they won't lie to you. It is what it is, right?
That's right.
But
something else I share with my clients is this: you're going to be telling your story, so prepare for that. And then they'll say things like, "Well, I don't know what my story is, or I don't know how to explain it." But through the process that I teach them, also, people want to know who you are. So you just tell a few things about yourself, a few things you've done. Don't exaggerate or nothing like that, and be honest, be truthful with people, because that's who you authentically are, and that's what people resonate with. Because they can tell, people are very savvy nowadays. They can tell if this is like a promotion just to make money, and you don't want your audience to look at you that way. You want your audience to be, well, that's Larry. So let me see what email Larry sent today. Well, that's Larry. Let me see what video Larry created today. And it may not necessarily be targeted toward you today, but you'll get something out of it. That's why my tagline is where we all learn something. You know what I'm saying? Because regardless of what I say and who's listening, you're going to learn something. If you don't learn nothing, but I'm not going to listen to that guy no more, right? There's something you're going to get from it. So with telling your story, I'm really big on telling stories, but I know people have difficulty because sometimes their story is so painful that they can't really tell it at that point, right? Because they'll get to talking and then they'll reminisce about a situation that they went through, and you can see that it hurt them, you know what I'm saying, or it touched them deeply. So they kind of want to change the topic at that point, which is good because that just means they're not ready to tell that story. But over time, if you keep sharing information, you'll get to a point where this is what I tell them. Somebody will tell you a story. You know what I'm saying? And when they tell you a story, you'll be like, oh my God, my story's not that bad after all. That's just how your life went. That's what I believe. I believe like with technology, when I'm doing these Zoom interviews, just like you and I had a little difficulty coming in, right? Things like that happen. That's life. Let that happen, and don't be stressing behind it, because at the end of the day, your story is that's how your story went. If you got married and you've been married 3 different times or 5 different times, I don't suggest that, but that's how your story went. And somebody else has that same. We got 3-point-something billion people in the world, or in America. They had a similar story, so they can resonate, right? But tell your story, because see, people want to be able to know that it's possible for them because you did it too.
True. Yeah. So true. That's so true. And just piggybacking off of that, your story is, for me, like that's a part of the sales process. Right. Not meaning you're a salesman, but we all selling something. You know,
ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. And it's like that storytelling is a process, because once you can connect with the human heart and the emotions and their real feelings, I mean, it's all about, it's relative, it's relate, it's all about relating. And people buy and do business from people they know, like, and trust.
Absolutely.
Right? It may be the sound of your voice, the way you look, the way you think, the way you speak. That's why I tell my client, you may not have the confidence, but once you do it and you put yourself out there in business, you're going to find who your fans are.
Right. That's right.
And then take care of those people, because they'll take care of you.
Right. And what about setting up like emails? Do you help them set up that too? Because email marketing is another way that I share with my clients, that becomes your bank online, because that's your people. That's who buy and sell it from you. I mean, that's who buy from you, your email. People that you communicate with via email on a daily or every other day. I like to send mine every other day, but I don't. They're not always, they're not always an offer. Most time they're just communicating. How you doing today? I just wanted to share this little video clip I went through, and I thought you might enjoy it. Right? That's it. And then there's that relationship. And then when I do send an offer, then they say, hey, maybe I'll check this out and see what it's about, because Larry gives me good information every time I go to him, right? So every time I get an email from him. So that I like that process as well. Do your system do that also?
Oh, for sure. That's huge. And one of the things that I tell clients that come on board is, a lot of them may not understand the technical piece in the beginning. So in the beginning, the process is to show them how powerful that is, and which it is. I mean, absolutely. You can look at any major brand online, and they have that process. I mean, Amazon, when you go to buy, what do you have to do? Create an account with your name and email. That's right. If you create a Facebook account, a LinkedIn account, what they ask you for, your name and your email.
That's right.
So the bigger your database is, the more clients you have, the more potential money you can make.
That's right.
So that's your bottom line when we're talking email. But once they get that piece, we can go on into the technical piece, because
absolutely.
It's all about understanding. But you're definitely right. That's number one thing when I first started, was learning email marketing, just getting people. I turned down money before I turned down an email in the beginning. That's how powerful that is.
That's right. That's because that could be money, and if you nurture it right, it will become money. All right. Well, listen, Eric, that looks like it's about the bewitching hour. I've had a good time talking with you today. I'm really glad you were able to come on, because I was thinking, wow. While we were having that little difficulty, I was like, am I needing to learn something here? Because normally when things don't go smoothly, my mind goes to, did I do something wrong?
That was on me, and I apologize.
Oh, no problem. Well, listen,
definitely.
Before you leave, would you leave your name, your email address or your website, so that people can contact you?
Sure. So for the digital aspect of it, you can go to support@missbizpro.com.
Okay.
And if you want personal help to grow your own business, you can reach us at support@goal2gold.com. That's GOAL2, the number 2, GOLD.com.
Gotcha. All
I'm
right.
sorry, info@goal2go.
Not support, info.
Yeah, info.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, gotcha. Okay, well, Eric, again, I really appreciate it. And where are you located out of?
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yes, in Kapolei,
Man,
Hawaii.
see, because can you imagine the reach we have? I had my first female interview from Morocco the other day.
Wow.
I was like, wow, you're becoming international. But it's kind of like I love learning things. I like making what I didn't know what I know. You know, I'm really big on that, because not only am I big on making what I didn't know what I know, but I like to teach it in the process. That way I know I have it. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah. So Eric, what I'm going to say is I'm going to end the show like I always end it. My name is Larry James. My company is Speak with Larry. And as always, share with someone else what I've shared with you. Thanks a lot, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.